Sewing is such a luxury. At the end of the day, you're not depending on the shops, on the high street fashion. You make yourself the things you like with the pattern you like, the fabric you choose for any occasion, and the best of all, everything fits to perfection. And for today's project, I have this beautiful polyester. It looks like a silk, but it's not. And I got it on offer last year, I think it was in August, and I didn't know what to do with it. I just got it, I couldn't resist. I got 2 meters of it, and I'm going to make a jumpsuit. So stay until the end and I'll tell you how long it takes me and how much I spent on it. It's not the first time I saw jumpsuits, as you can see, and I'll leave you a link for all the jumpsuits I've made in the description box down below and at the end of the video as well. And the first time I made jumpsuits, I took the time to make a block, a base pattern for the jumpsuit. But what happens if you don't have it? You don't need to worry. If you have your block of measurements from bodice and trousers, you just have to put it together and trace all around it. And even if you don't have your block of measurements, what you can do is trace it from a tight t-shirt and a pair of leggings. And what you have to take into account is the space where they land. If the legging goes underneath your waist, you'll have to trace a bit further up, and the same with the t-shirt. If the t-shirt is longer, you just have to trace until your waistline, and that way you can make yourself your own pattern. When I made this one, I did pockets, I pattern matched everything, and it has a zipper on the back. But for this one, it's going to be like this: 2 pieces for the front, 2 long pieces for the front, and 2 long pieces for the back. It's going to be really easy, so don't miss it. Stay with me because you're going to want to sew yourself one. The jumpsuit is going to be quite simple, without sleeves, a bit of a v-neck, straight leg, and facings all around it, and an invisible zip. So let's start it because we're getting late. Oh, and a belt. It's going to have a belt as well. I'm going to fold my fabric lengthwise and cut my patterns on the grain. Then sew together the 2 front pieces and the 2 back pieces along the middle bit. Sew them now right sides together along the shoulders, sides and legs. I can now sew the invisible zipper on the back and finish the armholes and legs. So I can cut the facings and sew them to the neckline. And now I'm going to cut it by folding long ways by the selvage edge, and that way I can place my pattern on top, the 2 of them, and let's see if it fits. How much fabric do I need to sew a jumpsuit? It depends, because take into account that this bit here, the crotch line is really wide, so depending on the size you're going to need more material, and you're going to be needing even more if you want to pattern match your fabric so it looks nicer and seamless. I won't be able to do that with 2 meters of material. I know that. I like doing that. It's another of the luxuries of sewing, that everything matches, but with 2 meters that were on offer, I can't. So I'm going to place them, and one thing you can do is place them at different heights, so the crotch lines aren't at the same height, so you can move them around so they fit. And another thing you can do, if this doesn't work, is even place it on the other way, so you can. But that's a problem if you're using a patterned fabric, because maybe it goes on the other direction. If you haven't sewn yourself a jumpsuit yet, I really advise it. It's like having a dress. You have the whole outfit in one, and it's really good because by accessorizing you can take it to a dinner party with high heels on, or you can even wear it with your trainers to the park to run after your child, or with flip-flops for a nice brunch. So it's a very versatile garment. so you should make one. My scissors are doing something weird. I don't know if you can hear, but they have like a step here. They are crushing here against the two blades against each other. I don't know what happened to them, but they are not cutting properly, and I am always careful. I only use this for fabric. This is really important, fabric scissors for fabric, and I have paper ones over there. And when I want to cut something like a piece of zipper or something hard, I use different ones, so I don't know what happened. If you know how I can fix them, let me know. This is going to be really easy to sew because the two front panels go right sides together, and you can sew them with a straight stitch from neckline to crotch, and the back panels are sewn just from where the zip is going to land down to the crotch, so we can put them right sides together, front and back, and sew the legs and side seams. The legs are going to be really easy to sew as well, because you just need to sew them from crotch to one ankle and from crotch to the other ankle, really important, so you don't twist them. And the side seams just from it just went from the armhole down to the ankle. I prefer to do it this way, but there is this method called the burrito method, in which they sew one leg and then the other separately, so then they put one inside the other, right sides together, and sew all the crotch line from front to back. I don't know if this is better, let me know if you've done it. I prefer doing it this way, like a classic way. Maybe the other way is less seams to do, but I haven't tried. I have to try, I guess. So which team are you? With my pieces cut, I'm going to not serge it because I haven't got a serger anymore, but I'm going to use the fake overlock foot to make sure the edges don't fray. And with this done, I'm going, And with this done, I'm going to make a bit of a change in the order of things so I can sew a bit more efficiently. So I'm going to hem all the armholes and the ankles and make the belt as well, so I can sew a few things at once and use the iron as well to press everything. And for the belt, I'm going to need a piece of fabric. It's going to measure 150 by 10 centimeters. And one of the methods so it doesn't fray is just to rip it, like when you're in the shop and they do that to cut the fabric for you. That's really fun. I don't know the explanation, but it makes this edge that doesn't fray. So the difficult thing is that you can't do that with your patterns, but with straight lines you can. So I'm going to sew these right sides together, and because I want it without any seams, I'm going to leave open the middle bit, not one of the edges. So I'm going to sew the corners until I get to a middle point, jump, and then keep sewing. And this way, when I turn it right sides out, I can press it and then stitch this little bit. And I'm going to be using a really nice turquoise, the same as the fabric that I have. Invisible zipper time, they are a bit challenging, not challenging, but sometimes people are afraid of them, but with the proper foot you shouldn't have any problem. There is a plastic one and there is a metal one, and since I discovered there's a plastic one, I haven't gone back. So let me know if you're a metal team or a plastic team in terms of this. So with this, it has this canal, so your zipper stays in there. So what we have to do is to place the zipper on top, open it and then twist it, and when you turn it to the sides you leave the raw edges against the raw edges of your garment, and that's where you want to pin and maybe even baste if you don't feel comfortable only with pins. And to close the gap between the zipper and the first seam I did on the back, it's ideal to use the normal zipper foot. And with the zipper done, it's time for facings. What are facings? Facings are these pieces of material you use to hem something instead of simple or double hemming anything, so you won't see any seams. They are really nice. So for that, if you have a pattern, what you do is just you trace a piece around the neckline, for example, and that will be your facing. I haven't got a pattern, so I'm going to use the jumpsuit, and what I'm going to do is to leave a centimeter on each side, because facings are sewn together one to the other to make this collar that goes inside. So once I do this, I'm going to sew it right sides together to the whole neckline. So I can then understitch it. What is understitching is to put the seam we have just done on top of the facing and stitch all around it so it stays in place. And another tip to make it stay in place is to stitch it on top of a seam we've done. For example, the shoulder seam. We just have to open and stitch on top. You don't see it, and it's really good because it won't move. I decided not to interface the facing because it's a really flowy and nice material. Let's see if I don't regret it. And with this and this, the jumpsuit is done. So this is the final result. The mic is pulling from this side. It's a very slippery material, so it goes everywhere. It's a bit of a challenge to sew, but once you get the hang of it, it's okay. And I really like it. I think it's ideal to go for breakfast or to go anywhere really, because it's a really nice color. It goes with everything, and you can dress it up if you wear high heels, or you can wear trainers as well. And I also made a short one, a romper. And this is the little romper I made. I think it's ideal. It has a very summery feeling to it, and I think it looks really nice. It was only €6 to make because it was 2 pieces of remnant. I got at €3, and I got 2 because I really like the pattern of it. So let me know what you think. The rest is just the same, but I just cut it at middle length, and I hem it with a double hem and quite wide, so it looked nice, I think. And the turquoise one was only €16 to make because the fabric was on offer, and I took a chance, just get some nice remnants you see around, don't leave them behind, because you can practice with them and you can make yourself nice, unique pieces that you love. And don't forget to subscribe if you like this, if you like this kind of content, because I upload twice a week, and that way you don't miss anything. And I'll leave you here a link to all the jumpsuits I've made, a flowery one, a polka dot one, a square one, and not a square one, a gingham one. Gingham, is it gingham? Maybe. And a really nice evening one with a deep v-neck. So stay around for a while.
No corra.
Sí.